Before starting this audio, I want to thank @SandSpirit2 for giving me their permission to narrate this beautiful piece of theirs. Please follow them on Twitter, and I will have their website in the description box below. Hope you enjoy! Imagine the colour blue. Just the colour, without shape or form. Deep and dense, intangible, untouchable, impenetrable. Hold the image for a while and then for an age until you begin to sense movement, a ripple in existence, slight and subtle, so gentle. You can't be sure the shift didn't occur inside you. Wait until you see it, the warm blue wave flowing towards you, coming for you. Lose yourself in the wave. Discard the delusion of solidity. Let go of the certainty of separateness. Dissipate ever deeper into the blue until you sense a form, female in nature, robbed in what you might take for silk. Feline eyes, ice blue, ancient, beyond reckoning. Startled, uncomprehending, terrified even, stare through and beyond you. I'm standing on a floating disc, a castaway looking out across a sandscape of deep valleys and high dunes. Beneath my feet is a surface of shifting sand, soft and warm to the touch. High above hangs a chimerical dome, a deep blue firmament penetrated by a ball of bright white light. The light is a portal, the way into this world, and the way out, the way home. Is it beckoning me, or bidding me farewell, or merely casting shadows? A stab of pain. My hand slides along the midriff. Something inside me is kicking and pushing, as though trying to break free. From within the blue of the robe, other hues seep out, growing brighter, a pulsating kaleidoscope of colour. The pain is excruciating. I drop down onto my hands and knees and tumble over onto my back. The life force, for that is what it is, flows from me and drags me across the sand to the edge of the disc, compelling me to look over and stare into the abyss, at a place so far removed from the centre of creation. A dark, heavy space, a vast and impenetrable blackness pockmarked by exploding fireballs and massive objects of crushing density that hurtle through the emptiness, a place of blinding light and terrifying darkness. Infernal heat and numbing cold, where the stench of death overpowers the feeble fragrance of life. A slashing, ripping sensation. I shriek again as the life force tears itself free. It plummets downwards and collides with the outer rim of the universe, where it shatters into innumerable tendrils, each of which glows with its own unique hue. Myriad tones and shadings through and beyond the spectrum, entrapped in gleaming filaments of energy, search for a destination, as though answering a call or a summons. Countless currents, eddies, and undertows demarcate the boundaries of discrete realities that exist side by side, above and below, sometimes intermingled, lapping ceaselessly against one another's edges. and each tendril of energy is drawn to a distinct reality, one which matches its own hue and texture and is reshaped into a sentient entity, a self-aware being in a strange new world. Each has the form I have assumed, standing upright on limbs, looking outwards from behind a mask, presenting a face to the world much like to my own, apart from the colour which stains their world. Knowing nothing of their connection to one another, each newly created entity is cursed by a dodged sense of uniqueness and self-interest in a reality they believe to be the one and only. And now, impelled to continue observing by a feeling of unfathomable dread, I see how there is a dimension that binds this universe with its spell, creating the chimera of relentless forward movement. One moment passes ceaselessly into the next, and everything is carried along in the flow, growing older, decaying, disintegrating, according to the needs and desires of a universe that never lets anything go. I will not hide my horror and bewilderment of my predicament. I know not from whence I have emerged, though I am burdened by a profound and hollow sensation of loss, a feeling of having been spurned, though by who or by what, I have no idea. I am dodged by a sense of otherness, of separation, of a uniqueness as alien to me as the universe I observe, and accompanying this, pulsating painfully in the depths of my newly born self, is a compulsion to imbibe the ebbs and flows of this place. But I must be more than a mere onlooker. I must become a storyteller, the narrator of all that unfolds before me, because I have an audience, do I not? The observer is being observed. You saw me emerge out of the blue. You watched me stagger and fall. Of course you cannot help me, at least not directly. Your sense of bafflement exceeds even my own, but you have provided me with a starting point, and for that I am truly grateful. It seems that this universe has a nerve centre through which all intention, need and want seek to pass. It's a point of convergence, a locus if you like, where shadows acquire substance and connections are consummated. In this veiled corner of existence where truth and knowing have been shattered and scattered, nothing can be said to be fixed or real until it has been anchored upon a solid mass of congealed consciousness that goes by the name of ki, a petrified, not quite round lump of matter that circulates incessantly around an exploding fireball. You, the inhabitants of ki, know little or nothing of the spectrum of consciousness, of which each of you is merely a single fragment. Indeed, you believe her to be nothing more than an insentient life support system that protects you from the freezing blackness of space. Ki, though, is anything but unaware of the creatures she creates and nurtures. She watches you brag and swagger, stumble and stagger. Ki is in no way indifferent to the outcome of the dramas you enact in the brief period between birth and death, and is not reluctant to interfere should she see fit. To fully comprehend events on Ki, I will have to look far beyond the planet's borders. To observe with insight and acuity, I must spread myself across the fault lines in the life force that may different itself through me. But Ki will be my anchor, as she is the anchor of all awareness tapped within the confines of the universe. My burden is of course deeply enigmatic. My purpose, my fate, my reason for existing is to tell the stories of scattered fragments of myself, and thereby comprehend this most fractured and hostile of places. Why this should be is a mystery, and perhaps it will remain so because my task requires me to look down towards the darkness and suppress any and every unbidden urge to seek out the light.